السلام عليكم.
الله أكبر الله
أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله نحمده سبحانه ونستعين به ونستغفره ونعوذ به من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى من تبعهم وعمل بعملهم واستنى بسنتهم إلى يوم الدين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Amma ba'd, all praise and thanks and gratitude be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our Prophet and Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We seek refuge in Allah from the evils of our own selves and from the wrongs of our deeds. Whoever is guided by Allah will never go astray. And whoever goes astray can only be guided by Allah. I bear witness that there is no God worthy of worship except Allah, alone without partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is Allah's prophet, messenger, and servant. I remind myself and I remind you to follow the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and to apply them to your daily lives. My dear brothers and sisters, inshallah today's khutbah is a continuation of the series of khutbahs that I started a few months ago that revolve around a very dangerous trend that we are all experiencing throughout the world. And that is the normalization of immorality. There is an attempt, a orchestrated and organized attempt to convince everyone that immorality is okay, that we should accept immorality, we should not call it out, we should not object to it, we should not even discuss it, and that we should all just accept whatever anything or anyone does without any values to restrict how we act and how we behave. But of course, as Muslims, we have the Quran and we have the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before we do anything, we have to check. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us in the Quran? And what does Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam tell us in the Sunnah? And what have the scholars who have studied in detail told us about what we can do and what we cannot do? Before you have a drink of anything, you have to ask, is it halal or is it haram? What's in it? Before you eat anything, is it halal? Is it haram? You have to ask any little thing. When we go to the bathroom, we have certain etiquettes that we follow that Rasulullah taught us to cleanse ourselves properly. This is our faith. It involves our entire way of life and everything we do, without exception. Now, in previous khutbahs, I spoke to you about different types of immorality. We talked about fornication, we talked about alcohol drinking. And today, I want to talk about homosexuality. Because a lot of people ask, what does Islam think about homosexuality? What's Islam's viewpoint of homosexuality? What does Islam say? And Muslims are uncomfortable talking about it. And they're uncomfortable for two reasons. The first is they don't know what Islam says. They kind of know it's common, but they don't have all the details. The second is there is a general societal prohibition about talking about this. Well, they didn't talk about it. But we are Muslims. We speak what's in our book that Allah revealed to us. We speak to what the Prophet ﷺ taught us. And we are proud of our faith. Don't ever be ashamed of what you believe in, ever. Even if you're not a perfect Muslim, you don't practice everything right, you miss a prayer even. But do not ever lose pride in your faith, never. Remember that. Young, old, doesn't matter. We must maintain always our pride in our faith, because it's a faith from Allah. It's not man-made like the other faiths. It's from Allah. And if it's from Allah, it's perfect. And therefore we are proud of it. Without exception, we're not proud of this part and not so proud of that part. No. We are proud of Islam in its entirety. Now, before I delve into the topic, I want to address two important concepts. These concepts are important in Islam. The first concept is that just because somebody desires something, that does not make it permissible. Right? I might desire to drink alcohol, but that does not make it allowed. Just because I want something doesn't mean I should do it. Doesn't mean I'm allowed to do it. Someone who's married may desire to sleep with another woman who's not his wife. That does not make it allowed. Okay, so just because we desire something, but this is not limited to Islam. Okay, you might desire to not stop at the red light. You might desire to just keep going. You cannot do that. There are laws that say you cannot, and if you do, they're going to find you, and you might kill yourself or kill someone else. That's why we have those laws, to protect you and to protect society in general. So the notion, if I desire to kill someone, that doesn't mean I can kill them. In any religion, in any law, in any society, just because you desire something doesn't justify doing it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وأما من خاف مقام ربه ونهى النفس عن الهوى فإن الجنة هي المأوى. As for him who has feared his standing with his Lord and restrained himself from his own desires, paradise is his final shelter. It was very clear. We will have desires that push us to do something wrong. But it's when we restrain ourselves that we are rewarded. Allah also warned us of blindly following our desires. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, أَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ أَفَأَنْتَ تَكُونُ عَلَيْهِ وَكِيلًا. Have you not seen the one who takes his own desires as his God? What's that mean? You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us to do something, we obey Him, right? He tells us not to do something, we obey Him also. But if you shift and you start obeying your desire only, that means you've made your desire a God. Right? That's really what it means. And Allah is saying, have you not seen the one who takes his own desires as his God? And then he asks the Prophet ﷺ, أَفَأَنْتَ تَكُونُ عَلَيْهِ وَكِيلًا. Would you in any way accept to represent that person? They're not part of the Ummah. Rasulullah is not going to represent them. Be careful. The second important concept I want to discuss today is that in Islam, we are held accountable for our actions, not for our thoughts and our feelings. This is an important distinction. You may want to kill someone, but Allah is not going to punish you for that desire. But if you act, then you will be punished. You will be held accountable for your action. You may have a desire to steal money from the bank, but until you actually do it, you're not held accountable. In Islam, we are held accountable for our actions, not just our thoughts and our feelings, not for our thoughts at all. It's only when we act. Now, the problem with that principle is that there is one ayah in the Quran that says otherwise. And I want to tell you the story of this ayah because it's important. The ayah is at the end of Surah Al-Baqarah. The last three ayahs of Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لِلَّهِ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَإِن تُبْدُوا مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَوْ تُخْفُوهُ يُحَاسِبْكُم بِهِ اللَّهُ فَيَغْفِرُ لِمَن يَشَاءُ وَيُعَذِّبُ مَن يَشَاءُ وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. To Allah belongs everything in the heavens and the earth. Whether you reveal what is in yourself or you conceal it, Allah will hold you accountable for it. He forgives whom He wills and He punishes whom He wills. Allah is able to do all things. This ayah is telling us that Allah is going to hold us accountable for what we think in ourselves, whether we reveal it or not. When this ayah was revealed, the Sahaba began to cry. There's a story behind the ayah. They began to cry. And they decided to gather themselves. And they went to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And by the way, these Sahaba were not any Sahaba. They were Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and Umar radiallahu anhu, and Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, and Mu'az ibn Jabal. Great Sahaba. They were crying when this ayah was revealed. How are we going to help accountable for our thoughts and our feelings? So they went to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he said, what's wrong? Why are you crying? They said, Ya Rasulullah, an ayah was revealed today that is difficult for us. We cannot withstand it. How can we be held accountable for our thoughts and our feelings? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam cannot make up things. He has to go with what the revelation is. He said, your job is to say, سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. We heard and we obeyed. Not to complain. Your job, the Quran says this, you say, okay. You don't say no and why. So they felt disappointed. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came. And He revealed the next ayat. The last ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah. That ayah was revealed to answer the Sahaba. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما اكتسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. Allah does not overburden a soul beyond its capacity. It has what it has earned, and it will be held accountable for what it has earned. So Allah clarified, He has mercy on us. We are held accountable for what we do, not for what we think or feel. That's an important concept in Islam. Now, the question of the immorality of homosexuality. Let me be clear, without missing any words. In Islam, a sexual relation between a man and a man is forbidden. It is haram. A sexual relation between a woman and a woman is haram. It's forbidden. There's no question about it. Now, a lot of people come and say, well, show me in the Quran, where does it say that? Yeah, we know the story of Lut, and I'm going to share with you some of those ayahs. But it doesn't say haram. So how can you say it's haram? Making it up? No. What I answer to you is you have to read the Quran in its entirety. You can't take pieces of it here and leave pieces of it there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلُوطًا إِذْ قَالَ لِقَوْمِهِ أَتَأْتُونَ الْفَاحِشَةَ مَا سَبَقَكُم بِهَا مِنْ أَحَدٍ مِنَ الْعَالَمِينَ إِنَّكُمْ لَتَأْتُونَ الرِّجَالَ شَهْوَةً مِنْ دُونِ النِّسَاءِ بَلْ أَنْتُمْ قَوْمٌ مُسْرِفُونَ. And Lot said to his people, how can you commit a fahisha? The word fahisha is important. Fahisha means an immoral act, an evil act. How can you commit a fahisha that nobody before you ever committed? They were the first people to commit this act. And then he goes on to clarify what is the fahisha. He says, you lust after men rather than women. You are indeed a people of great excess. Now, he is calling their action a fahisha. In another part of the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, حَرَّمَ رَبِّيَ الْفَوَاحِشَ. Allah has made the fahisha haram. Okay, so nobody come and tell me, oh, where does it say haram? That's what it says. The fahisha is haram. There's another ayah in the Quran that says the fahisha is haram, whether it is fornication between a man and a woman, or a relation between a man and a man and a woman and a woman. All of it is fahisha, and it is haram. There's no question about it. The Prophet ﷺ, in a hadith narrated by Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, and it is a hadith sahih, he said, إذا أتى الرجل الرجل فهما زانيان وإذا أتت المرأة المرأة فهما زانيتان. If a man has a relation with another man, meaning a sexual relation, they are both considered to have committed zina. And if a woman has a relation with a woman, they are both considered to have committed zina. In another hadith narrated by Ibn Abbas, radiallahu anhuma, he said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, this is also a hadith sahih. He said, لعن الله من عمل عمل قوم لوط. لعن الله من عمل عمل قوم لوط. لعن الله من عمل عمل قوم لوط. ثلاثة. Cursed by Allah is the one who engages in the same activity as the people of Lut. And he said that statement 3 times. Cursed by Allah is the one who engages in the same activity that the people of Lut engaged in. And he said it the 3rd time. Cursed by Allah is the one who engages in the activities that the people of Lut engaged in. I hope that I've convinced you beyond doubt that in Islam, a relation between a man and a woman is forbidden and it is haram. No further discussion is needed. Okay, it is haram. It's the end of it. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only told us that this is haram, but He punished the people of Lut. Because Lut told them to stop engaging in this action, and they were defiant. They continued to engage in this action. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَلَمَّا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا جَعَلْنَا عَلِيَهَا سَافِلَهَا وَأَمْطَرْنَا عَلَيْهَا حِجَارَةً مِّن سِجِّيلٍ مَّنضُودٍ. And when our order came, they were defiant, so Allah had to punish them. When our order came, we flipped the upper parts of it down and the down parts of it up. We flipped it upside down. And we sent upon them pellets of baked clay, and they piled up. The word that he used is sijil. The same word to describe these little baked clay stones is the same word that he used to describe the punishment of Ashab al-Fil, the people who came to destroy the Kaaba. Remember Surah al-Fil? Same word. You use sijil there and you use sijil here. Those are the only 2 punishments in which he uses the word sijil, meaning there is some equivalency in magnitude. Now, there are a number of issues related to this that I want to discuss briefly. One issue that comes up when we say this is haram, people say, well, does that mean that people who are gay do not have rights in society? No, that does not mean that. Everyone in society has certain rights. We have the right to buy and sell. We have the right to vote. We have the right to drive a car. We have a right to do a lot of things. Those rights apply equally to everyone. Just because someone commits an immoral act, we don't say they don't have rights. Otherwise, we would have to tell people who drink alcohol that they have no rights. Otherwise, we have to tell people who fornicate that they have no rights. It's all the same. We would have to apply it to everyone. Allah warns us in the Quran. He says, do not let your dislike of the people make you unjust. Be just. It is closer to piety. That's our position. It's really that simple. The action is haram and it's immoral, and we do not agree with it. But in terms of society, we don't sit there and ask people walking in the street, have you committed an immoral act today? Then you can't do this and you can't. We don't do that. Everyone has the same basic rights in society. The next issue that comes up that I'm asked about a lot is what about gay marriage? A man marrying a man and a woman marrying a woman. In Islam, and again, be proud of your faith. Don't be ashamed. Don't speak softly. Don't try to find ways out. No, it is what it is. In Islam, a marriage is only between a man and a woman. There's no other option or alternative. That's it. Am I making that up? No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَاللَّهُ جَعَلَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَجَعَلَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَزْوَاجِكُمْ بَنِينَ وَحَفَدًا وَرَزَقَكُم مِّنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ أَفَبِالْبَاطِلِ يُؤْمِنُونَ وَبِنِعْمَةِ اللَّهِ هُمْ يَكْفُرُونَ. This is Surah Al-Nahl. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allah has given you mates from amongst yourselves and has produced for you from your mates children and grandchildren. That's an important point. The whole point of marriage is not just an outlet for your sexual desire. Yes, it is a legal, moral outlet for sexual desire. That's one of the purposes of marriage. But the other purpose is for us to have children and grandchildren, to propagate humanity. Without marriage, we would end. We would just die, and there would be no children or grandchildren to propagate humanity. And Allah is telling us in the Quran, He has produced for you from your mates children and grandchildren, and has provided you with many good things. Will they then believe in falsehood and refuse Allah's favor? How can they do that? Marriage in Islam is between a man and a woman. That's it. Marriage is sacred in Islam. It's not just a legal contract. No. That's one part of marriage in Islam. Yes, there is a contract. But it's way beyond that. Allah says in the Quran, مِيثَاقٌ غَلِيظًا. It is a heavy contract. With it come obligations and responsibilities. And yes, some rights as well. But it is sacred. It's a bond invoked by the name of Allah and based on the Sunnah of Rasulullah. It's not just any union. No, it's a blessed union. That's marriage in Islam, only between a man and a woman. Another question that comes up frequently is, well, those who have tendencies to desire someone of the same gender, so a man desiring a man or a woman desiring a man, were they born that way or did they learn it? The reality is, in Islam, that's not a relevant question to us. The action is haram. How that desire came about, we don't really care. It's haram. Whether you're born that. If someone is born to want to drink alcohol, and yes, there is a gene that makes people more susceptible to alcoholism, does that mean they can drink? No, it doesn't matter. Some men, most men, inshallah, they're satisfied with their wife. They don't have a desire to look at another woman and sleep with her. But some men, they get married and 2 weeks later he's looking for another woman. Just because he has that desire, whether it's innate or learned, does that mean it's okay to fornicate? No, it's not. So to us, it's an irrelevant question. It's not relevant to Islam's opinion about the action of a man sleeping with a man or a woman sleeping with a woman. Another common issue that comes up is the interaction of Muslim activists with gay rights activists. I get asked this question all the time. Almost every 2 weeks or so, I get a phone call. They came and supported us. They were at our rally. They signed our petition, whatever. Now they want us to support them. Can we do that? Well, this is haram. That's the question. You see, politics is dirty. Because politics pushes you to think beyond the limits of Allah. A Muslim shall never support immorality. Period. No other discussion. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us you are the best nation for all people. What? You enjoy what is good and you forbid what is evil. How can we go the other way and encourage what is evil? We cannot do that. We cannot do that. You respectfully decline and say no. Sorry. And if they don't support our cause next time, then so be it. So be it. But Muslim activists must know what is halal and what is haram, what's right and what's wrong, and always follow what's right. I want to discuss one last important thing. In Islam, we do not hate anybody. Am I clear about that? We do not hate anyone, even the non-believer. If they accept Islam, they become our brother within a second, right? And we love them. We don't hate anyone for who they are. No. We dislike actions. We don't approve of beliefs, but we do not hate people. And do not take anything I said today as an encouragement of hate. Not at all. Not at all. Let alone violence. We never advocate violence against someone just because they commit an immoral act. Otherwise, we'd be fighting everyone all day long. No, that's not what I'm trying to convey today. On the contrary, if you know anyone who is afflicted with this tendency, this desire to be with someone of the same gender, make dua for them, that Allah protect them. That even though they have this tendency, that they not engage in the action, that they avoid haram. The same way that someone who wants to drink alcohol, make dua for them too. That Allah lessen the intensity of their feelings and that they not engage in this action. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله ولي الصالحين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, my dear brothers and sisters, I know this is a kind of a difficult topic to listen to, but it is critically important that we understand what our faith says about it. Because we are being bombarded, and our kids are being bombarded with the normalization of immorality. I've said it multiple times. We are being bombarded. I don't watch television much, but the other day I was watching television. And while I was watching, there was a commercial. The commercial is for Hallmark. You know Hallmark, they make the greeting card, birthday cards, and whatever. And the guy is, the first scene is a guy in the store buying a Hallmark card. And he's buying some romance card. I love you, I don't know what it says. He's reading it. And then he takes the card and he buys it. The next scene is he's walking into a house. He opens the door and he walks in the house and he has the card in his hand. And in the house is another man. So he goes up to that man and he hugs him and he kisses him and he gives him the card. That's it. That's the end of the commercial. Right? I mean, it's just a commercial for a card. But it's again indoctrinating our minds that this is normal. This is okay. It's not. It's not. In schools throughout the United States, including here in Santa Cruz, there are something called the GSA. Have you heard of the GSA? Gay Straight Alliance. This is an organization to support the rights of gay students. Not all the members are gay. Some of them are gay, some of them are straight. They are straight who support the rights of gay. That's why it's called Gay Straight Alliance. They have a network, a national network that provides them with literature and talking points and methodologies of teaching kids from a very young age that this is okay, that this is normal, that you should accept. That's why I'm doing this khutbah today, so that we are aware. Our children are being exposed. Don't act like they're not. If you don't talk to them, someone will. And if you're not armed with the right information, you're not going to be able to talk to them. Remember, اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يذل من واليت ولا يعز من عاديت تبارك ربنا وتعالى لك الحمد على ما قضيت ولك الشكر على ما أنعمت به وأوليت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. اللهم اهدنا لأحسن الأخلاق لا يهدي لأحسنها إلا أنت. اللهم اهدنا لأحسن الأعمال لا يهدي لأحسنها إلا أنت. اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمتنا وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها مردنا. اللهم اكفنا بحلالك عن حرامك وبطاعتك عن معصيتك وبفضلك عمن سواك. اللهم بفضلك ورحمتك أعلي كلمتي الحق والدين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين بفضلك وكرمك يا أكرم الأكرمين. إنك يا ربنا على ما تشاء قدير وبالإجابة جدير. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا وآخر دعوانا دائما الحمد لله رب العالمين.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
حقا لا إله إلا الله استووا واعتدلوا وأثابني وأثابكم الله. Please straighten the lines and close the gaps. Inshallah, after Salah, we're going to make the dua. We have a brother who passed away. We'll make dua for him. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا والتين والزيتون وطور سينين وهذا البلد الأمين لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم ثم رددناه أسفل سافلين إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات فلهم أجر غير ممنون فما يكذبك بعد بالدين أليس الله بأحكم الحاكمين. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله الله أكبر. الله الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Inshallah, we're going to make dua for brother Fazal Nabi, passed away in Pakistan. اللهم اغفر له وارحمه. اللهم اغفر له وارحمه. اللهم اكرم نزله ووسع مدخله ونقه من الذنوب والخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الابيض من الدنس. اللهم وسع عليه قبره. اللهم اجعل قبره روضة من رياض الجنة ولا تجعل قبره بفة من اللهم اغفر له وارحمه. اللهم اسكنه الجنة مع النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين بفضلك وكرمك يا أكرم الأكرمين. We ask you, Allah, to forgive him and to have mercy upon him. We ask you, Allah, to enter him the highest levels of paradise with the prophets and the martyrs and all the doers. We ask you, Allah, to bring patience to his family. We ask you, Allah, to have mercy upon all the believers who died. Al-Fatiha.
Quick announcements. Alhamdulillah, after 2.5 years, first time after COVID, we have our Sunday school open. Last Sunday was the first day. Alhamdulillah, classes will start this Sunday, and the time is 10 a.m. If you have not registered your kid, please bring in for registration. For the first few weeks, inshallah, we will be providing lunch to kids and parents. Secondly, Jazakallah khair, brother, Dr. Abdini, the football was awesome, and everyone must know that all these footballs are available on our YouTube channel. After, inshallah, 3 p.m. today, I'll try to share the link for the YouTube channel. Please go ahead and watch it. The third and last announcement, now that we have school open and we have organized a little bit inside our board of directors, we are going to start many programs, inshallah, youth program, religious outreach program, and community programs that will, inshallah, engage more community inside the masjid. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
You heard the football twice. The other مسجد. Yeah. Well, they didn't like us. Oh my God. They got rid of him. Shortly. Every time you get a good that's simple. Unbelievable. That's the first thing they did. What? Wow. Of course. It's not a big problem. محمد يا عم شغال مرة حالنا بس تودي الناس المساجد. شوف الحقيقة هو جمع الإسلام هذا نفس الشيء زواج إسلامي عقد إسلامي إلا إذا عملوا بالأول ما يخلص. هذا شيء حوالي 7 سنوات. فهلا انا عايزين دورات بس ما بعملها بجيبهم حتى ما تصير هيك مشكله. هيك بتصير مشاكل. فهلا بقى بدك السلام عليكم ورحمه الله. How are you? المسلمين قالوا مريض. Yes.